Yep, time to shave. No, I'm not shaving the beard off. I'm gonna take off all of this and this and all of this. And that's about 2 weeks worth of growth with this, the One Blade Genesis. I'm gonna be using the One Blade Genesis with a Feather FHS10. Love that sound. Got our shaving brush and the all natural small batch black tie shaving cream. I'm gonna take a boar's hair brush. I want to brush down the beard, that, an idea of where those lines should be. And get your shave bowl just a little bit wet. Lather that up. Start with going down with the grain. You want to hear that clicking. That's how you know that you're engaging the pivot. You never want to drag. Sometimes you're not going to feel the blade because it's that sharp. You want to make sure that you're letting the razor head do the work. Don't try to push and get that edge of the blade to connect where you think it needs to be, because it knows. No, it doesn't. There's no computer in there. But you want to engage the pivot. I like to use smaller strokes, none of these long. I mean, obviously I'm not going to use a long stroke because that would take off the whole beard, but some guys prefer to start at the top and go all the way down one stroke. I prefer the short, controlled strokes. Same thing over here. Trying to find the line, make it symmetrical. And I like to edge like this. Just find where that blade's going to meet, press, and go up. It's a great thing about having the shave brush, because as you can see, I have almost no shaving cream on my hands. Just grab this guy, he's still ready to go. No mess. And go across the grain. What I love about one blade razors is, if I were doing this with some multi-blade cartridge razor, it's hard to tell just looking where those blades are going to find their line. In other words, which blade is the closest one to where I want that line to be. But with one blade razors, I know exactly where the edge of that blade is going to land. And I'm going to go against the grain on this side. Now we're going to get all the part down here. My hair grows in a lot of different directions underneath the beard, underneath my jaw, I mean. So down here it's going up, over here it's kind of going that way. So you kind of have to know if you're going to go with the grain first, then across, then against. It's going to be a different direction most likely for you than it is for me on different parts of your face and your neck and your jaw. That's like 2 weeks worth of growth, and it just took it out. If you're doing this with multi-blade razors, it would be getting stuck all up in between those blades. If it's your first time to use the Genesis or the Hybrid or the Core, you might want to go a little slower than I'm going right now. I've always struggled, no matter what razor I use, with my Adam's apple. Kind of just come to terms that it's a fact of life that I usually get nicked. This is the only razor, and watch, I'm probably going to nick it this time, but this is the only razor that I've ever been able to successfully shave my Adam's apple with a really close shave and not draw blood. What I've found is to stretch that as tight as I can and make that bump as minimal as possible, as flat as possible. And just use really light touch, because it will do the work for you. Some guys complain about a 3-pass shave and they don't have time for it. The reality is, after that first pass,
The second and the third pass go by really quickly because you're not shaving as much hair. It's more about the fine tuning.
If you notice this pass, I'm going a lot faster.
Of course, I'm stopping to talk to you.
If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section here. We love to answer questions about our razors and our products. A lot of guys aren't sure if this is the right shaving system for them because they've been doing one thing the same way their whole life. It's kind of like asking you to floss a different way. But we've had so many people that thought that razor burn and bumps and irritation and nicks were just fact of life, and especially for you guys who you have to shave for work, you've never found something that works for you and that gives you a comfortable shave, much less something you enjoy using. Grab the towel, get my brush again. How do we do? It's pretty smooth.
And then real quick, just to finish up, I like to keep a pair of these around. I like to just kind of brush it down and then whatever's sticking out, chop it off. There you go.